Okay. So good. Hold on. Good evening again, everyone that is listening in. This is a session that we're having now for risk management, and I'm here with Dotty. Is it Dotty or Dotty K? Dotty K.
Dotty K.
Dotty
Yeah.
K. So we're going
Yeah.
through the risk management sheet that we are using to train our students here. So what I was trying to say is this: so instead of us blowing our accounts because we're over
Mm-hmm.
leveraging or putting in too many lots, too much lot sizes, and
Mm-hmm.
what we need to do is to manage our positions effectively. Now, let's say we
Mm-hmm.
had this sheet. You've been given this
Right.
sheet, right, to work with,
Right.
and our account size is £1,000 or
Mm-hmm.
$1,000. Now, in the
Mm-hmm.
market, we advise people not to go for the kill. At least start
Mm-hmm.
with at least 2 to 3%. Let's say 3% daily
Mm-hmm.
growth. It's very safe.
Right.
3% daily growth.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Mm.
That means that if you put in your position in and you get 10 pips out of the market, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna for that day for a daily your daily growth should be 3%. Meaning for that day, one day you should get first day you should get £30 or $30. Second day
Right.
the same thing, $30 90. And by the time you trade for like 30 days, that
Uh-huh.
account should be doubled with some change. If
Right.
you trade for 60 days, that account should
Uh-huh.
grow to like 5,000. Take that to 90
Right.
days, 13K. Then in 1 year, which is 250 days of trading or thereabout, you should you should actually become a millionaire starting with 1,000 and consistently building your account one day at a
Mm-hmm.
time, one trade at a
Okay.
time. If you are
Mm-hmm.
faithful, disciplined, not to overtrade. You jump
Uh-huh.
in, take your 10 pips, and you get out. Jump in,
Uh-huh.
only use the lot size that you are allotted that this sheet allows you to use. And then when you're
All
in
right.
the market, you get in. When you get your goal for that day, you get out of the market.
Uh-huh.
Protect your
Okay.
profit. So that was
Right.
the strategy that we
Mm.
found out that works for most of these guys. That is, helps them to get consistent profit. Because the thing
Mm-hmm.
is what that helps to do. Number one is to ensure that you don't stay in the market for too long. Because which is
Mm-hmm.
some of the things. One of the things that happens is that when you stay in the market for too long, maybe you've made a 200 at a particular position. By the time you stay, you don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. News could come out. Maybe you probably didn't check the news, or anything could just happen and the market goes south. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand that you will not always do the right thing when that you know
Mm.
to do. You got
Yeah.
£200 or $200 in your position. You tell yourself, okay, let me let it go to 250. Before you know it, it's down 180. I know it's going to
I
come back
know.
to. Before you know it's down 150. Okay, let me just wait a bit. I know it's gonna. Okay, if it gives me 180, I'm gonna get out. Before you know it's
Yeah.
$100. Your mentality doesn't tell you, okay, leave the market, get what you have, take what. No, even when you're they flip the corner, you are even down. You
Uh-huh.
get enter the
Yeah.
market, you're down 50. You say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just wait. I know it's coming back up. You're down 100. Oh, what's gonna happen? Let it just come back to 50. I'm gonna get out. You're down 200. Before you know,
Yeah.
you can't even close the thing anymore. You're praying and fasting and speaking in tongues and waiting for the Spirit to help you turn things around. That's would not work.
I
Which is where
know.
I've been there. There was a particular day I had to, I went to church. I was so moody. Came back. I slept. I prayed, and I prayed in tongues so much for that day for my position to turn around. I was actually down. I think I was down minus 5,000 or thereabout. I prayed and
Whoa.
prayed and prayed and prayed. Nothing happened. So eventually I had to close my position, but I told myself that would never happen to me again, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
allow ourselves into these situations. So when you
Mhm.
see that's why we say you have to be sure to have a goal, stick to
Yes.
that goal. Have a goal,
Uh-huh.
stick to that goal. There's a strategy we use. Now we tend to bend the rules a little bit here, but we try
Mhm.
to polish it and make sure that we are protected at every time. Now, so
Mhm.
if you follow this strategy judiciously, you only do zero point 0.3 lot size and you grow your account in 1 year, you should become a millionaire, or even in
Mhm.
probably in 6 or 3 months, you could decide to start paying yourself salary. You could take some out,
Right.
place
Yeah.
yourself on salary and then trade with the rest of the money. Now, what we've done also is this: we've been able to take it a step further. I decided to create this new, excuse me, this new column here. Now, what does that mean? It means if you are doing 3% daily. Now, what we advise is that don't jump in on a trade with that lot size, because that's putting like £3 of your money or $3 of your money into the market. Now, if your emotions are not in place, if you're not properly managed, what would happen is that if it turns against you with like there's a go 10 pips, this is what's going to happen. $30. If it turns against you 100 pips, that's 300. That's half of your account, or almost half of your account gone. So that's why we say, okay, instead of just jumping in with minus with $3 or 0.3 lot size, we start our positions with 0.03. What does that mean? I come here, for instance. I'll show you something right now. So I've done my analysis. Yep. I've done my analysis. What does my analysis say? My analysis says that when this goes and breaks this, yep, it's going to come back and retest it and then drop. That's my analysis. That is breakout, retest and stuff. That's what I analyzed. So what am I going to do? Normally, I would do a 0.3 lot size. I jump in on this trade, 0.3, you know, and then I write it down to this place for how many pips. Let me see, from here to here, this is where I'm going to take profit. My next profit for, say, 460, let's say 460 pips, that trade. Now, I know that if I write it all the way down here, 460 pips, but for some reason, what if I jump in this trade and something like this happens? Because this is the drawdown. This here is the drawdown. I didn't anticipate it to go this far. I probably had my stop loss somewhere around here. Maybe I had my stop loss somewhere around here. I didn't know that this was going to happen. So I had 0.3 lot size in, and the market went back against me. How many pips? It went back against me 52 pips. I've already lost, probably already lost 150, you know? Or maybe for some reason I decide, okay, if I may have not, I may decide to even push it even up further. And what happens? It still goes up. Let me see from here now. How many pips? It goes as far as 82 pips. That's almost 100 pips. I've lost 300 pounds, you know? So I'm not sure what is going to happen. So what I start with, instead of doing 0.3, I begin with 0.03. So 0.03, I enter my position here on 0.03. Now, what am I telling myself? I know that I'm coming down here. This is where my TP is going to be. So what do I do? I've already strategized how to develop the strategy. The strategy is to enter in successions, compound my positions. So I look for another entry position, probably somewhere around here. I look for another entry position, probably somewhere around here. I look for another one, maybe somewhere around here, you know. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to create entry opportunities for myself, so I don't have to jump in one go. I jump in little by little. It's not like I'm being very careful, and at the same time I'm still making money. So I have 0.03 here. I have 0.03 here. I have 0.03 here. All of these are all positions for me. By the time I come down here, I would have even made sometimes even much more than what I started out trying to make, because I could even see some positions and jump in even with a higher lot size, you know. But what that means is that by the time I'm here, I already have money here. You know, if I enter another position here, there's still money here. So even if this goes back against me, there's no worries. I take what I've gotten from here, I get out of the market, I re-strategize. So if this goes in my favor, I know that I'm going to enter again. Then this goes in my favor, it's going to keep going. It goes in my favor. Even if it turns back, I'm not afraid, because I still have one here, I have one here, I have one here, I have positions here. It gets here, I have position here. So all of that, I am compounding all my money. So what am I doing? Another thing I'm doing also, I'm moving my stop losses. My stop loss is being moved. As that happens, positions move, I move my stop loss to the next one. The other one, I move my stop loss. So I am securing my profit up onto this part. all of the
Amazing.
profit, all of this 0.03 that I've put in the market, I'm secure. It's all in the market. It's all in my bank right now. Because if this goes against me,
Uh-huh.
I'm kicked out of the market, but I've secured all of this profit. All of
Profit.
this belongs
Yeah.
to me. Yep. So that is the
Wow.
strategy we felt would work
Okay.
really well with us. And a lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
most of us on the platform, that's what we use. We don't just jump in with the standard lot size. Don't jump with the five. When we started, that's what I used to do. I put one, I put two. I'm like, oh my god, this is meat. And let's eat, you know. But I paid dearly for it. I used to have it,
Yeah.
have a lot of nights, sleepless nights, because then I start thinking of the positions. Well, will I wake up in profit or wake up in tears? So, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there's nothing as good as you putting a 0.01 lot size in a position. I mean, in a place. If
Mm-hmm.
you're having a
Mm-hmm.
0.01 lot size, you see the way your mind will be at rest, because you
Yeah.
know that even if it turns against you 100 pips, that's just $10. But if your standard turns against you 100 pips, that I think that's 100 or there. Is it
Uh,
100? Yeah, I think it's 100. No, that's 1,000. you know
uh-huh.
so you want to be careful not to blow your account. So that strategy is what we've
Right.
been working with, and it's been working for us. you know
That's
Although we
really
won't
great. Yeah.
we won't get 10,000 in one day, 20,000 in one
Mm-hmm.
day, but what we will get
Mm.
is consistent profit. We're growing because those guys
Absolutely.
that make 10,000 in one day, find out what the account is after the whole of that week. Probably they are back to zero, back in negative. They've lost it all. you know
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's worked for us, and that's what we try to do. So back to this shit now. So what we try
Mm-hmm.
to do is ensure that we start from this lot size. Now another thing that we also look at is, because we don't really trade small pip accounts these days. Most of us are too sports. We don't really do
Mm.
10 pips and we run out anymore. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm looking for the big kill,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
100 pips in one position. What that would do
Mm-hmm.
means is that I can then increase my stake. Probably I can then decide to do maybe 5 or 10, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
do maybe 5 or 10. So
Uh-huh.
it means that my position, I can still use a 0.01 lot size and then
Right.
grow my position till zero point 0.5 and make $50 in, or £50 in that day. By the
Mm-hmm.
end of, you see, it grows for me, it grows. You see, by the end of 1 year, what am I looking at? $250, 250 days of trading. Jesus is Lord. That's 188 million. It's possible. Don't
Wow.
say it's not for. Don't say God
Wow.
forbid, because I know some people will say God forbid. That's yes, it's possible that can
Wow.
be in your account. If you grow
Amen. Amen.
gradual.
Amen.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so what we want to do is we
Mm.
want to grow our trades gently. We want to
Right.
grow our positions gradually. Some of our trades give us 100 pips. Like there's a trade
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at is 2,060 pips. Probably that one may finish in the next 3 months or thereabout, but it's all good, depending on what we have in the market. So some of our trades give us 150, some give us 80, some give us 100. So it's fine. When you enter
Uh-huh.
the market, you start with a zero point 0.1 lot size, if that is what
Uh-huh.
your goal is for the day. Now, what that means is that this thing we can change. Let me see what this is. This is divided by 10. You can decide to divide it by 5, only have it in 5 positions,
Okay.
because what that
Yeah.
means is that you're entering this thing to in 5 places, so you
Right.
just need five.
Right.
One, two, so you probably enter here, then maybe you
Uh-huh.
leave it to run till, then you enter here, you leave it to run, then
Right.
you enter here. But 5 positions. The other one is
Uh-huh.
10
Uh-huh.
positions. 10 positions meaning you need,
Mm.
need 10 of that zero point 0, but that's just it. But when we begin trading proper, you would really get to see how this plays out. Most of my trade, when I
Okay.
started with the 0.01 lot size, with the micro lot size, and then I grow
Okay.
it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely, it does actually. Yeah, I had never heard of this type of strategy before because, like what you were saying, you hear that, okay, there's a trade that, just there's a trade and then, you just jump in,
Yep,
jump like
yep.
jump,
A lot of us
and
just
you end up,
jump in. Mm,
Yeah, so no, it really does make sense. But I mean, what time frame do you usually trade from? And you talked about like 2000 and something pips or something, 3 month trade. Does
yeah.
this mean that you hold the position for 3 months, or is it like in and out, in and out, in and out?
My one is in and out because now the thing
Oh,
is this,
okay.
mind you, with that strategy that I just showed you, you
Uh
can
huh.
actually hold that position for that 3 months without
Uh
even
huh.
going out. If you entered from the beginning, okay, let me see if I remember that trade again. Uh, oh, let me see if I remember the trade. Holy Spirit, help me. Where is it now? Okay, this is the trade. Okay, this is the
Okay.
trade. Let me see. Because I trade, there are different strategies to trading. We're going to go to that. This is what we do every. First of all, we take you through the risk management strategy. Then we'll start out with we'll take you through the next thing, the first strategy that we start to trade with. Now look at this. This is the typical
Mm.
trade that I do. Now I'm
Mhm.
here.
You're right.
I'm here. I'm
Mhm.
trading here. This is my breakout point. This is the bottom of this. I'm seeing a double bottom here or a triple bottom,
Right.
whichever people want to trade. Now I've
Mhm.
seen that based on this analysis,
Mhm.
this is where this is going.
Mhm.
That's where this guy is going to based on my analysis. Let me see if it matches any zone.
Mhm.
Bam! It matches this zone.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know eventually you're going to really understand what I'm doing when the time comes. So this
Yeah.
is what this means. It means that this is where this guy is going to. So I would put
Right.
my stop loss somewhere around here,
Mhm.
either somewhere around here, or if I'm being too generous, can bring it down to this next level here.
Mhm.
This next level. So this would be what kind of trade? How many was the risk? The risk is 590 or 600 pips. And what's the reward? The reward is yes, ma. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Okay. So this one. This one
Mhm.
is 1,990 pips. That's
Mhm.
how many ratio 900 1,900 to 600. That's ratio about ratio 1 to 3, which is a good
Mhm.
position for me. The good
Right.
position.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? I would jump in intermittently. I have this.
Mhm.
So let's assume I enter this trade from this point. What
Right.
that means is that I'm not going to get out of this market until
Mhm.
this, even if it comes against me, as long as it doesn't come back to this position, I'm still
Mhm.
good. I don't have to jump out because you know how
Right.
the market runs. We have
Yeah.
been saying the market doesn't go like this. It does
Mm.
this, especially if it's on an uptrend, it's going to do that.
Yeah.
Going to do that, keep
Mhm.
doing rally, pull back. And sometimes
Mhm.
it doesn't go back to the first position until it gets to where it's going to. It doesn't do
Mhm.
this. Once the market does this, then it's changing
Mhm.
positions, changing directions
Right.
because it's
Uh-huh.
already gone down 100%. That's what it means. So then I
Right.
would have been out. So if I entered my position here, it means I can ride this trend to keep going up
Mhm.
till it gets to this
Okay.
point. Like, look at what
Uh-huh.
happened here. This was coming here,
Mhm.
right? But look at
Mhm.
what it did. It never went back to this place, did it?
No. No, no, we
It kept
didn't.
turning. It came here, it turned. It came down
Mhm.
here, it turned. It came down here,
Yeah.
it turned. But then
Uh-huh.
actually came down here, then dropped before finally
Right.
doing this, and it's going back up. So
Yeah.
that is what we're trying to do. We want to trade it from the bottom here and then take it to the upside. Who knows? It might even come here because this is a key. This is a key supply zone.
Right.
You will learn all of this, what supply zone means, and demand zones, and all of that. It needs to
Mhm.
come back and test that area as well, which might give us a further how many pips. Let me just take it from the ground up and see how many this guy is going to give me. So this pip is more than 3,066 pips. This is what we're
Wow.
looking at. This is what we're looking at.
Wow.
So if this gets to that level, we would start here, like we have started, or even if we didn't start here, because some people didn't start with me when I started. So even if you didn't start from here, you can still enter somewhere around here. You can still come down to your lower time frame and find entries. The reason why I'm on this higher time frame is just people for swinging. But you know that when you go to the lower time frame, you're going to see some ups and downs and everything, retracements and different things happening, which is what some of us trade, the 1 hour, the 15 minutes and all of that. But if you enter from the bottom here, you can hold it till it gets to where it's going to. But it means that you would have to let that position run for several months, unless if you're comfortable with that. But we'll get to that. So, do you have any question as per risk management? Just look at anything that you want to understand more.
Okay, you talked about goals earlier on, right? Setting daily goals.
Yeah.
And then sticking to the goal. So what do you consider a goal, or is it pip-wise, like the pips, or is it the amount of money that you're supposed to make on a daily basis? Which is,
Both, it can be both, because it's your pips that will determine your money anyway. So you know that you don't know how much the market is going to give you at a particular day.
Yeah.
It may give you 100 pips, may give you 50 pips. But what you have control over is how much you allow yourself into the market. How many pips, how many lot sizes are you allowed to stay in the market, to use to trade in the market? Now, which is one of the key things you have to decide. That is why this comes into play. You know that in a particular trading day, for this day one, all you're going to be doing, because it's 5%, is what your daily goal is going to be. Or you're going to be trading, and you're pretty much hoping to get 100 pips. But even if it doesn't come, what you're going into the market with is only 0.5 lot size. That is what you're trading for the whole of that day. So it means you cannot put in 0.05 in one position. That's what it means. It means you can't do this in one position, because that breaks your rule. The rule is to do this, but then you can do 0.01 in one position, then do 0.01 again, up to how many times? Let me double click that. Up to 5 times. So you can have 5 positions of 0.01s, so that you can make up for this. So now, how many pips will this produce? Depends on the market. You're looking for. We are saying that we are hoping this can give us 100 pips. That's what we're saying. We're looking for 100 pips, but it may not give us 100 pips, but it's fine. We won't overtrade. Just know that I will not do more than this. You can have this as your what's it called? The sheet that will give you your daily goal in terms of profit. 50 pips. 50 pounds or $50 or whatever, 50 or 50 euros, whatever your count is per day. Now, it may not give you $50 or 50 euros or 50 pounds. It may give you 40. Take it. It may give you 30, take it. It give you 20, take it. Any profit better than any loss, or no profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as long as you protect your profit, one of the key strategies that we adopt is, anytime we are in a position and the position goes into profit, what we tend to do is to make sure that we move our stop loss into the entry, even if it's 1 pip, because the market can go back to entry and kick you out. So if it comes back into that entry, it's okay. Get out of the market, because it means that it's giving you another opportunity to either re-enter, or it's telling you that direction that is about going towards a false one, that is going south. So you don't want to stay in the wrong direction. You analyzed it, and it told you that it's supposed to go up, but what happened? It came back 100%. There's something wrong. The market doesn't just do that. It either does that either because there is news, or it's in the wrong direction. So if the trend is a true trend, then it should be going up. If it's not a true trend, you will see what would happen. It will go up and it will come back down 100%. A true trend will do this: go up, retrace, go up, retrace, go up, retrace, go up. Sorry, pull back a bit. Go up, pull back, go back, pull back. Then keeps going. But the one that is wrong will do this. This is what we expect this to go up and then
Mm-hmm.
come back just a little bit. But what did it do? It came back 100%.
Yeah, it did.
It came back
Uh-huh.
100%. Although it eventually went back up, but I don't think anybody would want to keep their stop loss this long because that's too wide.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
it comes back and hits your entry, make sure it hits your entry in profit. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
either hit your entry in 2 pips or 1 pip, so that you stay, you don't lose anything. The plan is not to lose any money anytime we enter the market. As long as
Mm-hmm.
the in our favor, we will secure some profit. So that's the strategy we work with and advise everyone that comes on board to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been having some fantastic results. Apart from the fact
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes, yeah, like always tell the people when they come in, it's not my daddy, it's not my mother, it's not anybody that owns the market. So the market will do what it's going to do. If it was my father's business, I would okay, we can decide where it goes and where it doesn't go. But since I don't have any any control over it, so it's going to
Yeah.
do what it's going to do. So when you
Mm-hmm.
enter the market, always be careful. Have your stop loss in place. Have your goal. This
Right.
is where my take profit is going to be. Take profit one or take profit two, and then work
Mm-hmm.
at it. If it doesn't go your way and it comes against you, please don't let your position run wild. So if it
Right.
goes against you, 50 pips, you should be thinking about leaving that market. Don't wait till it goes
Mm-hmm.
against you 100 pips and you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of
Mm-hmm.
course, you know that this market is going to still come back to in your favor and you had a micro lot size, maybe 0.01. Your account is 1,000 and it goes 100 pips against you. That's just $10 that you're losing. So it's not too bad. Whatever goes up
Mm-hmm.
will come down. But
Absolutely.
if you enter and it goes against you, you can also get out and wait for it
Mm-hmm.
to come back and re-enter. There's no crime about that. Even if you lose
Right.
£1 or lose £10, you can come back and make make more than that in your next
Right.
entry. So always have
Mm-hmm.
that at the back of your mind. Better to
Mm-hmm.
secure your accounts or
Mm-hmm.
secure your accounts than to lose it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. I have.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on.
Can I ask? Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I've heard some people say that they would rather not put a stop loss because brokers actually hunt for stop losses, kind of like
Mm.
to get that money and then kick you out of the trade.
Yeah,
How far true is this?
I used to think that myself, but
Uh huh.
until my mentor told me that, listen, the market would do whatever it would do. There's nothing like the broker would hunt. First of all, to even begin with, you should be with a regulated broker. If dodgy
Yeah.
brokers do a lot of dodgy things, I don't trust any broker whatsoever. But if you are with
Yeah.
a regulated broker, at least
Yeah.
you're safe. Not safe. You're a
Yeah.
bit better off than someone that's
Yeah.
not with a regulated broker. Now,
Mm.
stop losses are very key. When I started,
Mm.
I think at one point I got into trading for a long time before I even started using stop loss. Stop losses are very important in your trade. Why? Because they
Mhm.
protect your positions. Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard the stories about brokers hunting, but stop losses are meant to be hunts, not just the brokers. What they call
Mhm.
smart money, big money, the banks and hedge funds, all of these big guys, they are hunting
Mhm.
for stop loss. Why? Because
Wow.
they need to generate liquidity as well.
Mhm.
That's the rule of the game. It's not
Mhm.
illegal. You need to be
Mhm.
there because it's too. Can call it. It helps you. It can also go against you. If you enter this
Mhm.
position, yep, and you were not watching.
Mm.
Let's say for instance now. Let me give you an example. This is an example of a position. You entered this
Yeah.
position. You knew that this was going to come here and bounce
Yeah.
and go back up.
Uh huh.
Yep. You entered and you had your stop loss here. Brokers,
Uh huh.
market movers, market makers, whatever they call them, they know
Uh
that
huh.
you are in the market. They
Mhm.
know what everybody's. They see what everybody's seeing. They see what you
Mhm.
see. They know. Okay, hold on, please. Let me just get this. It's annoying. Get this. Okay, now. So they know that you're at the market. They know that you're waiting to enter this position at this point.
Mhm.
So and they know that, and you do that, you're going to put your stop loss somewhere around here. you
Right.
know. So
Mhm. Mhm.
the trick for them is to make sure that maybe some of them they've noticed that you have done this. You probably put your stop loss somewhere around here. Hold on. You
Mhm.
put your stop loss on the lower. They always say, because the rule is to put it in your previous low, which would be this place.
Right.
This was
Uh-huh.
your previous low. This was your stop loss. So the market movers, smart money, big money, all of them, they know that. So what
Mhm.
they are gonna do is they're gonna come down, and instead of them ending it here, they're gonna
Mhm.
sell this market even further. Why? Because they want
Mhm.
everyone that have entered the market to be stopped out. So
Right.
they are there to hunt
Okay.
you. It's supposed to be. It's a rule of the game. If you want to play in this game, just expect them to do that to you. It's not illegal. They will do that. They will
Uh-huh.
stop hunt people because they have the money. They have the liquidity. They are the ones that put
Yeah.
billions. They throw in. It
Yeah.
is because of their money that we are
Uh-huh.
even trading. If they don't have too much money in the market, you will see the way the market will do this. If the big boys are not trading, this is what you see in the market. Market ranges.
Mm.
You know,
Right.
because
Uh-huh.
those guys, they don't have their money in. They are probably not trading. They are, maybe they have gone for coffee or what have you. This is what you're
Yeah.
going to get in the market. It's just going to be going up and down, up and
Mhm.
down. That's
Mhm. Mhm.
because the smaller boys are the ones trading, while fighting within themselves. But when they
Right.
come in, this is what you see. They start
Right.
buying, the market moves. They take profit, the market comes down. They start buying. So all of that. So they've known,
Yeah.
they've looked at the market, they've seen where you put your stop loss. They know
Mhm.
it's all psychological. It's all
Right.
psychological. That is where they would have put their stop loss if they were trading like
Uh.
retail traders. So we all put
Uh-huh.
our stop loss. If they come in, they drop the market further. So for some of us that didn't
Right.
use stop loss, we would escape because
Mhm.
this wouldn't have been, you know, what's it called? It wouldn't have touched us. We would have escaped. Some people that had their stop loss even lower, maybe like the
Mm.
lowest low, because it also costs money. Also, mind you, it costs money for them to do this. For them
Yeah.
to do this drop, it costs money as well.
Mhm.
So they also want to be careful. Otherwise, they could have dropped it even further. But what did they do? They just
Mhm.
dropped it a little bit and then went
Right.
back to where they were coming from. Somebody that
Uh-huh.
didn't use stop loss would be able to manage this. But another thing is this: would your account be able to hold your position? Let's
Mhm.
assume you had this and you didn't use a stop loss. Would
Yeah.
your account be able to hold this? That's 547 pips in one
Oh
trade.
wow.
Imagine you
No.
had a standard lot size and you had
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
you had maybe like a £2,000 account. That's the end of your
Uh-huh.
account. They will
That's
blow
it.
that account and you still be owing the broker money. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why you had a stop loss. Your stop loss is supposed to protect you so it doesn't go against you. Yes, they will stop hunt you. It's fine.
Mhm.
Allow that to
Mhm.
happen. They get you out of the market. But when they now move up, you can re-enter again and bring back your stop loss back there because they also, like I said, it costs them money to do that. So they won't do it too many times. They won't do it for so long. So by the time
Mhm.
you know it, the market is back up again, and you see, and all of a sudden you're going up. You're making back what you lost because you probably
Right.
lost
Yeah.
200 here, because of that
Uh-huh.
stop hunt. But in the end, you
Uh-huh.
probably be making 5,000. So
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
what it is. Stop hunt. I mean, stop hunt is there in the market. They will stop hunt you. Everyone will stop hunt
Uh-huh.
you because they have the money to do that.
Oh.
But it's just unfortunate, but we don't
Uh,
have anything choice. We have to play along. But when we have our stop losses in place, yes, I hear the story of brokers doing that, but I don't want to listen to that because the stop
yeah.
losses are things that they are like angels. When I started,
Mhm.
I used to call it, they're like angels. They protect you from blowing
Yeah.
your accounts, from losing
Uh-huh.
all of your money. So start
Right.
using stop loss in your position. As long as you have done the analysis, ensure that before you enter a position, you are sure that
Uh-huh.
that position is going to at least give you a profit. Not
Right.
jumping based on I thought I think it's going to do it. No, no, no. Jump in based on a knowledge, not an
Yeah.
assumption. Like if I'm going to
Uh-huh.
trade this, I'm entering this market based on knowledge. What is the knowledge? Because of the fact that
Yeah.
I see that it's broken out and it's come back and retested. And my strategy says that once the market breaks out, I don't jump in
Yeah.
immediately. I wait for it to come back and retest that zone that it jumped out of. Then I will
Uh-huh.
buy. I buy here.
Yeah.
So then I will put my stop loss somewhere around here or somewhere
Right.
around here.
Right.
So
Right.
if I've done this analysis,
Mhm.
then I can easily jump into the market well. But for some reason, if this thing comes against me, it's not because I'm a try what's it called it now? I'm a what's it called kind of trader. I'm a bad trader. I don't know what to do, what I'm doing, because I actually followed the strategy, I followed the rules, and it's supposed to play in my favor. But for some reason, the market turned against me. That's the activities of the market, activities of the market movers. They can afford to do that. It happens. There's a rule. There are rules that I follow, patterns. If I see a pattern in the market, double bottom, I know what I'm supposed to do. So if I enter a double bottom strategy and the double bottom failed, it's not me. I'm not a trashy trader that I don't know what I'm doing. It's because the pattern didn't hold its own. It's not my fault. You get what I mean? So that's why we have to spend time to develop the skill to know what we're doing, so that when we enter the market, we're entering the market with the confidence that we know what we're doing. So if it goes against us, it's not because of our silly mistake that it goes against us, because of the market's activities.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will start using stop on in all of our positions.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So any other question?
No. I think it's clear and it's really insightful, very helpful. It's an eye opener because now there's a new look to everything now.
Yep.
It's just changing everything in my mind and in my head. The pieces are coming together.
Yeah. When I started as well, when I first met this, it made a lot of sense to me, because I found it like, if I'm starting any kind of business or going anywhere, doing anything I don't just throw everything in.
Yeah.
I start gradually. But maybe I'm trying to build a business. I don't just go in and use all of my life savings and dump it in. I take things little by little. I acquire what I need to take, little by little. I don't just jump in full with my head and body and everything. I test the water. See, okay, is it going to work? I put my leg in. Is it hot? If it's not okay, I try. So it's the same thing. And it's my life, my money I'm working with. So I can't afford to just throw it out there, based on guessing,
Yeah.
So that's why we have to work this thing. We have to know this thing at like the back of our hand, and we have to be able to trade it with our own by ourselves, not people telling us what to do. Like I always say, signals are there. Yep, they can help you in the long term, in the the short term. Sorry, they can guide you and give you the money, but they can never make you wealthy. Wealth comes from your own handwork. What are you going to do for yourself? Because I can fall sick. Stevenson can fall sick. J-Rock, every one of those people can fall sick, and they're not able to give you. Swipe trades can fail. But what happens then? Are you just going to sit down? I remember I stopped using swipe trade for a very long time. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I started learning this thing. If they call themselves master traders, and in a week, I'm like, what are these people doing with my money? There was a particular tool they had before. They call it Fusion Trader, FS Signals and Fusion.
Yeah.
That thing blew my money so much, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? I thought these guys are supposed to be gurus. Man, have I entered one chance? What am I doing here? Until I decided, no, I can't have it. I said I have to take this thing by myself. I have to do this thing by myself.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you something else. Just one part of the strategy that I used to trade, and then before that, let me just do this one. Normally I don't do two classes in one day, but I'm gonna do this one just to give you something to work with. I'm gonna give you that Excel sheet eventually. Okay, it's already. I think it's already there on the library. In the library, go there and slot in.
It is in the library. Yeah, I think I downloaded it today.
Oh, fantastic! So put in your account size here, and then put it a goal. Maybe put in about 3. Let's just start with. Okay, let's start with 5, because I'm probably gonna say, okay, we're probably gonna be looking at maybe to make 100 pips, or we can start with let's start with 100 pips. 100 pips. Oh, hold on. Let me try with 2% and then do 10. Let's see what that does. Still gonna be too high. Okay, let's start with 5% and then do 100 pips. Anyway, because I give more than 10 pips anyway. So whatever your account size is, just put it in here, and then slot in that percentage, and put that information there, and then save it, and then we'll work with that. Now, that's one thing that you're going to do. The next thing I want to teach you now is how I find support and resistance. Maybe
Okay.
let me end this recording and start a new
Uh-huh.
one so that I'll break that down
Okay.
into two. Stop
Okay.
recording.